Namaste and welcome to Matehood. As a mother and the founder of Mate, my journey has always been guided by a deep belief in the power of nature and Ayurveda. When I created Mate, I wanted every product to embody the same care, thoughtfulness, and authenticity that I give to my own children. Every product in Mate is deeply rooted in the science of Ayurveda. From the herbs we source to the oils we use, each ingredient is carefully chosen to stay true to this ancient wisdom. Being here in Kerala, the land where Ayurveda was born, feels like coming home to the roots of Ayurveda and roots of Mate and everything it stands for. I'm going to be visiting favorite Kerala Ayurveda Spa, which is located at Leela Kovalam, a Ravis Hotel, to experience its transformative therapies and speak with Ayurvedic Dr. Tirtha, who will share practical wisdom we can all bring into our lives. Let's dive into this journey together. So I'm really excited for today's episode because I'm going to be joined by a truly special Ayurvedic expert, Ayurvedic practitioner and Ayurvedic doctor, Dr. Tirtha, and I have been interacting with her from last 2-3 days during my trip here in Kerala, and she has such deep insights and knowledge about this topic, and I'm just so excited to have this conversation with her about all things wellness, holistic well-being, mother care, child care, and everything we follow in the principles of Ayurveda. Dr. Tirtha, welcome to Matehood. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm really excited to have this chat with you. Before we begin, I would love to hear more about you and your background and what you do here at Favorite Kerala.
Thank you, Priyanka. So myself, I'm an Ayurvedic doctor in Favorite Kerala Ayurveda and Spa in Leela Ravis Hotel.
I have been here at Favorite Kerala in Kerala, and I have had experienced so many of your sessions and therapies, and it's been such a delightful experience for me. And while I'm sitting for this chat with you, I really want to dig deeper into the practice of Ayurveda and understand more. So doctor, I really want to understand what is Ayurveda really all about and how does it help us improve our holistic well-being and wellness?
So Ayurveda is a traditional form of holistic science and it has originated in India over 500 years ago. So we are practicing authentic Ayurveda in Favorite Kerala Ayurveda and Spa here. So in Ayurveda we have Panchamahabhutas, Tridoshas, all these concepts are there. So Panchamahabhutas are like, as you know, Ayurveda is mainly focusing on the Tridoshas and the Panchamahabhutas. So Panchamahabhutas are Agni, Akasha, Vayu, Jala and Prithvi. So these are the 5 elements, that is the Panchamahabhutas in Ayurveda. So these elements act like the foundation for all the creations mainly. So these Panchamahabhutas and Tridoshas have a correlation, it is connected both. So Tridoshas are Vata, Pitta and Kapha. So these 3 are the basic Prakriti we call it. So every individual will be having different Prakriti based on the which Prakriti or which composition is more in them. Either Vata, Pitta, the predominant dosha, whichever is more, that will be the Prakriti in the person.
So these 3 doshas that we are talking about, how do we identify those and how do we then recommend the correct remedies and methods to rectify these doshas in the body?
So these 3 doshas will be there in every body. So either one dosha or 2 dosha will be predominant in all the individuals. So this dosha we can check by checking your nadi and by asking few questions regarding the dosha and your likes, your dislikes, and based on few questions we will understand your prakriti based on the digestion, based on your sleep, and we have few questions. So based on that we'll first of all understand your prakriti. So after understanding the prakriti, then only we can give you the treatments and we can choose the oil what is suitable for you. And we do have Panchakarma treatments here. So in Panchakarma treatments there are 5 different treatments are there. So it cannot be done together. And when we are thinking about a Shodhana kind of treatments, mainly Virechana, Vamana, such type of treatments are there.
So doctor, please tell me more about what are the different kinds of therapies which we can follow in Ayurveda and why we follow them and what are the benefits and results we can expect from those therapies.
So we can practice different kind of treatments. Basically, this Abhyanga Snana is there. Then the Nasyam treatments we have. Shirodhara treatments are there. Different wide variety of treatments are there in Ayurveda. And especially when it comes to treatments such as Dinacharya, we call. So Dinacharya is something which we can practice every day.
Yeah.
It's more like Brahmi Muhurte Uttishte we call. Like 2 hours before the sunrise, we have to get up. So basically, we have to get up 2 hours before sunrise. And then we have to follow certain regimen is there. Every day doing of exercise, either
Yeah.
yoga, follow pranayama, then drinking of hot warm water in the early morning, and then following like nasyam, anuthailam, such things we can use every day.
Yeah. So I want to know more about Abhyanga Snan, and I was reading somewhere that this is also a practice which is followed for babies and children, and it's a very rich practice and tradition which we've been following in India. So if you could tell me a little bit more about why do we follow Abhyanga, what is the method of doing it, and what are the benefits of it?
So Abhyanga Snana is a traditional, authentic massage. It's more like a massage rather than we can tell it like everyday application of oil. So oilation is required in every body every day. That is what we follow in Dinacharya as well.
Okay.
So medicated oil, application of medicated oil and doing the massage like long stroke massage, that is mainly Abhyanga Snana. So we are using warm medicated oil. So especially here it comes to a doctor's need especially because every person we cannot use the same oil. So different people like according to their dosha and their skin condition and all, we have to change the oil. So we have oils like Dhanvantaram, Sahajradi, all those oils are there. So with these oil, according to person, we have to change and then we have to do the massage and all. So especially when it comes to Abhyanga Snana, we should be applying it every day. Like, that is what we should practice according to Ayurveda.
Yeah. And the key function of this is strengthening the muscles and the bones and the blood circulation, right?
Yes, actually this Abhyanga Snana gives you more strength for your joints as well as your bones strength. Everything it will get improved if you're applying the oil every day. And then it improves your circulation and it is good for your skin, elasticity, and it helps to reduce the aging actually.
So while following Abhyanga for children, is there any particular oil we should use or any particular ingredients in the oil which are really good to include for better results for strengthening their muscles and the bones?
Especially in kids like infants, we can do everyday oil massage. With coconut oil itself, we can do it. Medicated oil is good, but same time we can do the massage like Abhyanga with coconut oil for the kids. It's well for their joints and bone strength. In kids, especially if they have any skin condition or depends to every kids, like it's good that if you're doing Abhyanga Snana daily for their face massage and all those things we can do in a daily basis for the kids.
How about the head massage? Is that also part of Abhyanga? So we also spoke about Dincharya, which is a very famous Ayurvedic practice. So tell me 5 things which are must include in a Dincharya, which is basically literally means everyday practice.
So everyday practice we can do, that is what we said in Dinacharya, we have explained before.
Yeah.
So we have to follow the Brahmi Muhurte Uttishte. Like we have to get up like early in the morning and then start our day. So that is the 2 hours before the sunrise. That is the first thing. And then we can do this Nasyam treatment. It's not a treatment wise, like every day we can follow this. And then we can have the hot water. That is the other one thing I would recommend. And then we can apply the oil, which is a self-massage or oil application every day. That is the Abhyanga as we discussed. And following this pranayama, meditation, yoga in an everyday basis, it's well and good for every individual.
Yeah. I think these are the practices which are really rich and can bring you benefits in a longer run. I have been trying to do a lot of this in my daily routine and waking up early, doing meditation, yoga, also following a very clean diet. At the same time, we tried the Nasyam treatment here, which is all about inhaling, right? And cleaning up your nasals. Apart from that, Abhyanga, I loved doing it because it's not just soothing for the body, but it's also very soothing for the mind. And it's a must include in your daily routine. So I would recommend that everybody should make it a part of their lives. It's very, very important. So moving on to my next question. What are the biggest misconceptions that people may have about Ayurveda and holistic well-being?
So main misconception these days that's happening is like people need faster, quicker relief. So they want a treatment to be done, and after 2 or 3 days or 2 sessions, they
Yeah.
want the treatment
Yeah.
to get their maximum benefit, and they
True.
want the permanent relief for that. So that is not what in Ayurveda it is possible. So in Ayurveda we treat from the root of the disease,
Yeah.
and we have to find out what is the cause of the disease.
Yeah.
And then only we can treat for
Yeah.
the certain condition. So here we basically need a 7 days or 14 days or 21 days longer treatment session. Then only we can completely cure the disease from the root cause.
Yeah.
So a fast remedy is not what is possible in Ayurveda, I wanted to say. A
Yeah.
quick relief is not at all possible by doing a 1 session or 2
Yeah.
session. You won't get a complete relief of what exactly we want a recovery
Yeah.
from the disease.
Yeah.
So we need a longer session for that.
And it's all about lifestyle,
Yeah,
right?
it's all about lifestyle.
practicing every day,
Yes,
making it a
practicing.
part of your life. It's
Yes.
not about just inhaling and taking some pills and just expecting the results,
Exactly.
right?
So we have to follow Ayurveda is more like a lifestyle practice.
Yeah.
So it is, we have a dinacharya, rutucharya, seasonal regime, daily regimen to follow in Ayurveda. And more like when it comes to a disease like treatment, we need a more days of treatment also for that.
Yeah. No, I totally agree on that. So I'm a mother myself, and I'm really curious to know that what are the kind of remedies or practices which are available for moms in Ayurveda, because especially if we talk about postpartum care after giving birth to children, there's just so much which a woman's body is facing physically and moreover, I would say mentally and emotionally. So what does Ayurveda recommend for postpartum healing and recovery, and how can this support a mother who's just given birth?
After giving birth to a child, it is not that easy. A woman has to go through a lot. So during this time, after postpartum treatment in Ayurveda, we can do it. So when it's a C-section, we need more days because the stitch, everything has to completely heal. Then we have to start the treatment. So when it's a normal delivery, within 7 to 10 days, we can start the postpartum treatments. And it's more like giving a certain arishtas, then giving so much kashayas and giving some lehyas. It has a specific way to give all these things. Arishtas are like a decoction medicine which we give after postpartum for the mother to regain the strength actually. So few of the arishtas like Jiraka Arishta, Ashoka Arishta and the Dashamula Arishta, a combination of these arishtas we can give to the mother after birth. And then after following that, a few days, and then we have to start with certain kashayas, Nadi kashayas we call it.
Kashaya.
Yes, kashayas. So that is more like for the strengthening of the mother from inside out. So we have to do a prasavaraksha after the giving birth to a baby. Prasavaraksha.
Okay.
So certain things we have to follow, as I said before, we have to follow all these regimens after giving a birth to a child.
Yeah. So it starts from healing from within by drinking all these arishtas.
All these arishtas,
and
kashayas.
Then kashaya is, what is kashaya all about?
Kashayas are like a preparation itself. So here we give the Nadi kashayas.
Nadi kashaya.
Yes. So all these kashayas, arishtas, everything, a person have to internally take it. So these are the internal medicines. As well as external treatments we have to give after giving birth to a child. So that is more like this Abhyanga. There comes the importance of Abhyanga treatments and all. So we have to do certain treatments which like Abhyanga, giving Dhumapana, then Yoni Dhupana. All these treatments we have to do after the giving birth to the baby.
Talking about childcare, you know, as a mother myself, I'm very much concerned about their well-being and the kind of food they're eating, the kind of exposure they're having to screens and digital space. At the same time, I feel children are having such a fast-paced life that they're finding it very difficult to adapt. And most of the times I see and I sense some sort of anxiety even among children. So what are the practices that parents can involve children in, that children become more calm, more relaxed, and you know, like what should be the dincharya for kids?
So in kids, we can start a proper dinacharya from the childhood itself. Try to reduce the screen timing and more focus for them to this yoga, meditation, then Ayurvedic practices, especially dinacharya, they can incorporate, we can incorporate in kids that way.
True.
So we can start a body massage like oil, which is relaxing for the kids also,
Yeah.
and then indulge in more exercises, physical activities, and teach them the Surya Namaskara,
Yeah.
then the yoga,
Yeah.
and the general yoga, and the practices like pranayama. All these things the kids can start doing. That is what I would recommend.
I totally agree. And I think yoga is one such thing where kids find it very exciting because when they see themselves doing and performing certain asanas, there's a sense of achievement. I have noticed it with my children if they're able to perform a certain asana and they find it that how flexible their body is, they're able to touch their feet and with their head they're able to, it's really exciting for kids to do all that.
Yes.
So, and at the same time it is physical. And other thing which I'm really firm believer of is the massages, and not just the body massage but a head massage, which I have seen has given very good results because it really calms them down, relaxes them.
So in kids as well as in grown-ups, I would recommend Abhyanga because it gives you good sleep also. That is one thing. So especially in kids, like if they have any disturbances or difficulty to put them to sleep and all.
Yeah.
So if you're doing a Abhyanga, like oil massages, so they actually get good sleep.
Yeah.
Sleep quality can be improved actually. And then doing this pranayama, it actually clears their breathing exercises. All these things definitely will help them.
Is there a particular time when Abhyanga should be performed? It has to be in the morning only, or can children be given Abhyanga in the night as well?
It's good to do Abhyanga in the morning itself. So before going to the bath, we recommend to do the oil application.
Yeah.
That is what is good for them.
Yeah. So how do we approach diet and nutrition in Ayurveda? What are the common guidelines when it comes to maintaining your health and well-being?
Maintaining a healthy diet is what matters actually.
Yeah.
So that actually itself acts like a medicine for everyone.
True.
So we have to reduce the intake of spicy food, oily food, junk food, especially in this time.
Yeah.
Practice more sattvic diet, which is more, we should take the vegetarian food, especially more vegetables, fresh fruits. All these things we have to incorporate in the diet. So keeping more hydrated, then having more amla, not more amla means.
Yeah.
You should just have one amla every day. It's good for your hair strength and for the body, immunity, all these things.
Sure.
And we have to incorporate some of the techniques like herbal tea, herbal coffee, all these things in our diet.
Are there any superfoods in Ayurveda which they really recommend that you must include in your diet? One is amla, as you said. What are the more food items you must include?
So as we said, amla is a very good option.
Yeah.
And then we can add more turmeric and then this dry ginger.
Indeed.
All these things we can incorporate. Then this Triphala is it. That is also a good medicine for all the health. So Triphala is something which we can add to the superfood as well. Ashwagandha, all these things.
In today's world, I think the biggest challenge we face is stress. Everybody is stressed, everybody is anxious. Most, I would say, not everybody, but it has become very challenging to manage stress, especially for mothers who are, having little children and they might be working. Day-to-day life stress adds on, and which can in turn lead to multiple illnesses and can come out as different kind of signs your body is giving. So what does Ayurveda recommend that how stress can be managed? Are there any practices we can follow?
So in Ayurveda, we can do treatments like Shirodhara, Pranayama, Yoga. All these things are helpful for reducing the stress.
Yeah.
So Shirodhara is like, it generally calms your mind. So Shirodhara is like a dripping of oil on your forehead and then it will be passing to both the sides.
Yeah.
So we are completely using medicated oil for doing the Shirodhara treatment.
Okay.
So that actually calms your mind as well as body. So it is both relaxing as well as rejuvenating kind of treatment. Especially it works for the stress management.
So how frequently should we perform Shirodhara and for how long you think we should practice it to be able to see some results?
So Shirodhara we can do a longer session, like a continuous 3 to 4 days of session, and later also we can take the session. It's not that we have to take this and then stop it. So once if I have done the Shirodhara now, take it after also, so that it's well and good for your well-being.
So it has to also become a part of your lifestyle.
It's part of your lifestyle, but it's not that every day doing the Shirodhara is not what we recommend. It depends on case to case. In some people, it's only recommended for 3 to 4 days, and in some people, we need a more sessions.
Yeah.
It depends on all your case and how a disease is progressed in you, and how much the treatment is required for you. Individually, the treatment differs.
Yeah, yeah. So, doctor, I'm going to end this session with one last question, and it's a question which most of the mothers have, especially after giving birth, is the hair fall. So, most of us face hair fall and hair thinning. What are the remedies available in Ayurveda, and what are the therapies we can do to maintain good hair health?
So due to stress and especially during the postpartum, the mothers are facing a lot of hair fall.
Yeah.
Not only mothers, like any person, like during this time, like most of the people are suffering from the hair fall.
Yeah.
So we have a very good treatment here. It is a Keshini treatment. So Keshini is something which is like a herbal paste is applied on your head, and then it's more like a soothing treatment for your head. So it includes certain herbal preparation is there, then the hibiscus leaf, all natural Ayurvedic leaves which we are using for that, especially hibiscus, and then we are using this amla powder and few of our oils and the herbal preparation which we prepare from here itself, and then applying it on your scalp, and then we have to apply it and keep it for at least 30 minutes and then leave it and then take a shower. So this is what we recommend here. And it's a very good treatment, and a very good results has been seen after doing this treatment.
Yeah.
And we have certain preparations and we have certain oils as well for the hair fall and all those things.
Oh, lovely. So what are you recommending for me today? What are the things we should do? I'm really excited.
We can do a Keshini treatment for you,
All right.
and then you can see the result.
Oh, I'm really excited. Shall we go?
Yes, sure.
Thank you so much for joining me on Matehar. It's been a truly delightful episode. Short and quick because we had limited time to shoot this one. But I hope you find some really good information here. And I'm sure if you have more questions, you should be able to find Dr. Tirtha here at Favorite Kerala at Leela Kovalam in Kerala. Do visit and ask her all your questions you may have. Thank you for joining us, and thank you, Doctor, for being here today.